Um, First thing, two things.
Oh.
Because I remember, Joel, you were saying, like, yo, there's some crazy shit coming up later if you remember chapter 1. And so,
Yeah.
since I've read it today,
All right.
it's after, like, Aaron has his dream, and it says 8:45, and I was like, oh, what does that mean? And then I keep reading, then it's like, oh, 8:44. I'm like, oh, that's the year. But then they never do it again. They only do it twice.
In the
Yeah,
manga, they do
because-
it
In the manga,
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
a couple
but
times.
in the anime, it happens like I don't think it happens even more extra times.
I think you said there was a difference last time you talked about this when he's having the dream
Yeah,
in,
there.
in chapter 1. What was the difference? Here it's Mikasa saying, see you later, Aaron.
Oh, wait a minute. We're talking about... Okay, you have to introduce what we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Season
yeah,
1 of Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's on the title. Like we're talking about last time we talked the first episode. Now we talk the rest. Like
Okay.
both
Yeah.
cores of the first season, and the manga. Actually, the manga, the chapters. I don't know what the exact chapter numbers was. I have the thing
Until
in the save somewhere.
33.
It's 33. I just finished it.
Okay, yeah. I cannot remember from the beginning anymore because it's been a while since I watched the first episode. But I know the secret thing. You didn't find the secret thing yet.
Well, that's my next point, but I want to talk about this first.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly anymore what the difference was in the anime. I thought there was like something in that dream, or like how like Eren reacted to it when he woke up, but now I don't remember anymore. And I was like,
He was
should-
crying.
yeah, and I thought in the anime he cried as well. That's the first
Here's
thing. Yep. Okay,
here's
here.
my new thing. The chapter title. To you, 2,000 years from now.
Okay.
I'm very curious. What does that mean?
Okay, so that is something that's a really good point. A lot of people, I don't know how long they've been speculating about that, but a lot of people have missed that during the thing. And when I first watched it, I didn't like. I noticed it. I was like, what does that mean? Is that like is this like a message to like the future, or is this like is the show like gonna be like a message from the past? I don't know what that means. What does that title mean? And yeah, it's pretty weird, isn't it?
Actually, that answers all my questions. Thanks.
I'm gonna
weird, huh?
I'm gonna say like that thing will be paid off in a really
Yeah.
awesome way. And like it is a recent thing that it just got like happened, and when it happened in the manga, I fucking like went like audibly, oh, like I couldn't fucking.
Was
believe
this
it.
the
It
thing
was
you
so
told me
fucking
about like
beautiful.
6 months ago? Then
Yeah, it happened like about 6 months ago. No.
no. Is this the secret you've been holding from me for 6 months?
This is I'm gonna say you found one of the like big things, but even though it's not only a big thing like only like 6 months ago, that's still not the biggest thing. That still the biggest
What?
thing in it is still in it, and you haven't found it because it's such a small thing.
In chapter 1.
Yeah, it's only in chapter 1, and it's not in anywhere else. That's the fucking beauty of it. Like I haven't seen it anywhere else, and it's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
There is some. I know there was something else. What was it?
It's a small detail, and I can tell you right now if you want it, but I would rather save it up unless you find it by yourself. But I would rather save it up when the moment when it comes up, because that's when I was told the secret, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And it was like,
So
I
when they reveal it, I'll remember what I saw.
okay,
I'll be like when
it's
Light got the Death Note.
It's like such a small detail. It's a like I said before. I think it's like a meta thing. It's not like a story or you like a blink or you're missing, and it's only in the manga. It's not in the anime.
It's a meta
Oh,
thing.
really?
Oh shit!
It's
I gotta-
it's
Think about this all over again.
yeah. It's not a like about authorial intent or anything. It's a small thing that's only in the manga. That's all I'm gonna say. It's only in the manga. It cannot physically. It cannot be in the anime.
Is there a reason why it cannot be in the anime?
It must be a way how it's paneled, because how else?
Oh, that's
'cause
true.
because that's the only real difference.
Hey, this is a good segue. Can I talk about what Isayama-sama is doing in the work of Attack on Titan. Because right off the bat, I gotta say, I got I started reading after watching the show back in last year. I started reading the manga, and holy shit, did that early chapter art style fucking suck ass. And I want to say to that, but related to that, everybody knows this already who's been reading that shit. I think the still the coolest thing, even though the art sucks, the paneling and the way the panels are character, even though the art is terrible, but the how people are presented in different ways or input in the different panels, it already shows up pretty early on that Isayama has a really good eye for that, and it gets really even better as the series go on, as does the art as well. But I thought it was really early on showing him his ability as an artist already.
Yeah, I could see that. That was, I think I was decided to read it instead of watching the anime too, and then Alex commented, he's like, "Hey, what do you think of the art style?" I'm like, "Oh, it's sketchy, but it's not sketchy, but it's rough. But I liked it.
Yeah,
it grew on me."
There's a couple series that are like that they have there's a rough style to it, but also that appeals to me. Where it's not cleaned up like it would be in Jump or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Hunter x Hunter when he gets oh my gosh, is he even shading at one point? At one point, I was like, it's just you just see the figure. But maybe he fixed it up.
So season 1 ends chapter 33, but chapter 33 is in volume 8, and there's still one more chapter in that volume, 34. Yeah. And I can see why they ended the season there.
Yeah.
Considering it revealed hey, check out this climactic cliffhanger.
Yeah, yeah, and
other big mystery.
And if you haven't seen the anime, that is literally the last frame as the as their ending theme goes on, and then you have clips of from the both two seasons, and then the last thing, the camera goes up the wall to the parts where Annie has been climbing up the wall. It climbs up to a wall, and then the last thing, no sound or anything, you see a piece of the wall falling down. You see the Titan inside the wall, and ends immediately. And it's the fucking
so brilliant.
Best cliffhanger to get I cannot
mysteries
even imagine.
Upon mysteries.
Yeah, and I cannot imagine back in what was the year when it came out? 2012.
The show?
13, 14. What year was it?
It was 2012, 2013.
Yeah, 2012 or 13. Yeah.
I remember that summer. I remember someone on a forum I used to hang out on saying oh, it's just another summer blockbuster. It's gonna be forgotten.
Really? No.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I really liked it for a while. I watched it with my family. And then we were all, it was you know how people get crazy in football games? We would yell at the, it was so fun just watching with other people and seeing everyone get into it. They're like, holy shit, oh my God.
Yeah. And I think the final moment in it, I cannot even imagine how it must have felt. You being that, after you would have seen it on I cannot wait any longer. Because as we now know, the anime OnlyFans had to wait a long time to be able to see.
That's why I forgot about it. They took way too long, and then everyone, there was a big fervor because it came, a lot of people started watching it again.
Yeah, it became a public thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it became more public, and then there was all this stuff in Hot Topic. Everyone's got they know the emblems, and then I was like, oh, I totally forgot about that. But Attack on Titan.
I made a spray paint stencil thing for the Survey Corps.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
That's cool.
But every time I post it online, people are like, oh, is that from Infamous? I'm like, you piece of shit.
From what?
It's a game on PS3, Infamous.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, are you stupid or something? I don't...
Okay. I know a lot of this stuff we already tread on the first episode. A lot of talk about our memories with the first season. But let's talk about the plot. How would you wanna talk about after the first episode? After what season?
Well,
for the first half of the season.
It doesn't have that effect on me since I already know what happens after season 1. But I still think season 1 is still more the most the most appropriate genre you could put in it is horror.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because they still just keep getting their ass kicked.
There is, yeah, I would say that like it start as like really horrific, then it's like Eren says like I'm gonna kill all the Titans, and then like we have a training
And then they
thing,
wipe again.
and it's yeah that's the whole thing. Like it starts as like heroic, we will fight, we will kill them, and we will bring back humanity, yay, and then
And they fucking don't.
fucking killed. Like that's like I think like I mean it's not uncommon like that uncommon for a main character to die in a show, but I like that's one of the first ones that I saw where like a main character just dies in the episode 5 or 6, and it's like, well, actually second one, there's other couple of other shows that I just remember that are, but the like just the main character is getting fucking like death sentence in like episode 6, and it's like, man, that is fucked up. That's like ultra fucked up.
Way back when, because now they're up to I think 31 plus volumes now.
Yeah.
But a long time ago, the author was like, "Oh, I was gonna end it at 20." My original ending was I was gonna let everyone die.
Yeah.
But then the show got too popular, and he's like, now I can't do that.
That leads up to other commentary, but I think I want to talk about that later. I've been following Isayama's like the comments as of late, like being like able to like see as the series goes on, like closer to the end, he's been talking, there been in more interviews, and he's been talking about like the work and what the ending is gonna be all about. And I don't know if I mentioned to you guys that, but he has already posted the final panel like a year or two ago.
Oh.
No, I didn't know this.
No.
And if you don't want spoilers, do not look it up. But here's the thing: it's not a spoilers. It's the final panel of the last chapter, and it's vague enough to keep people interested. But it's also like, oh, that ending. I think that's gonna be a really nice ending if you see the panel. But
Well, if it ends on an establishing shot, yeah.
it's not a.
Well, now I'm
I don't
spoiled
wanna-
because I know it's a good ending.
Okay, it's.
I
mean,
don't like good endings.
we
want
can
it
talk about it.
perfect. No, just kidding.
Okay, you can look it up at some point. and we can talk about
I do
it.
have a question. So
Yeah.
on all the books, on the back cover, it shows all these people
Yeah.
doing a salute, and as the characters die, they don't end up on the back cover anymore.
Oh shit!
What?
I didn't know this.
I didn't know that.
Oh well, then I can't ask my question if you didn't know this, because I noticed that like fucking like Armin isn't even on this at all.
Oh fuck!
What?
And so I'm starting to wonder, like, then who are all these people? And like some of them are pretty inconsequential.
Well, maybe they're just.
So how do they decide who goes on here?
I think it might be like, oh, they want to show everyone of the like the trainees or the scouts. They want to show.
Well, we
them.
have Mikasa
Oh, what volume are you holding?
1,
Okay.
because it doesn't change on any of them. It doesn't change who's on it. It just changes who disappears.
Oh.
So then, as you go on, that the covers get less and less people. There's people. So you have Mikasa, Rainer. I forgot
Reiner.
what his friend's name was. The
Bertolt.
other guy.
Bertolt.
Marco.
Annie.
Yeah, Annie. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this one's Eren. I think that's Jean. I suspect this is Marco, because after he died, he stopped being on the cover.
Yeah. Right.
Connie, Christina, and the lesbian, because I don't know her name.
Ymir.
Ymir?
Sure.
And it's not
The
Christina.
lesbian.
It's still it's still Krista. Or I mean, are they calling it Krista in your version?
Oh, no, I'm just retarded.
Alright.
I think because Christina's like a more familiar name to me, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's more. Both are somewhat common names over here where I live.
But it's weird that like Armin's not on this at all.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
wonder.
I mean,
is,
what
I solved the
chapters are-
mystery. This
Okay.
is it. Are you ready?
All right, let's hear it.
They just wanted to draw.
Oh, I know why. I know why. I actually solved the mystery, but let's hear your answer as well.
You solved the mystery of why he's not on
Yep.
the thing?
Yep, I know why. I know exactly
Because
why.
he looks too
I'm
much
gonna
like
spoil
Krista.
the whole franchise for you right now.
All right, here
Uh-oh.
we go. It's all a dream. It's Armin's dream.
It's worse.
Oh no, it's a Titan's dream.
You know how Armin likes reading books?
Yeah.
It's a book he's reading.
And you know how the title is To You 2,000 Years From Now?
Right.
He's writing a book.
Are you saying that this is all Armin's like self-insert fan fiction?
Okay, I don't know if you know what fanfiction is, because you seem to apply that to anything and everything. I'd be like, hey, can you give me some water? Oh, is that fanfiction?
No, I don't
For
say
what,
that.
juice?
That theory, I gotta say, it's an interesting theory, but I gotta say,
I pulled it out of my ass.
Yeah. Interesting theory, but I will immediately destroy it because the real reason is why. You know, there's only 10 people on that list.
Let me
that you
count.
mentioned.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep. You know why? Because those are the 10 people who got it, who are the top 10 of the class. I just remembered those. Those are the who
Armin was
graduate from the
pretty
class.
low. That's good. He's good.
Because I
Yeah,
remember
but Marco,
listening.
like, he was such a minor character. No one, like,
Oh, he was pretty important.
he died in like that book.
No, but the impact of his death affected some
Yeah,
characters.
I
Oh
gotta
wait,
say,
hang on.
I
Wait,
gotta say,
something changed.
They're like, Marco!
Okay, he died in volume 4 or 5 because he's out on 5. But if you look at volume 2, Aaron's kind of like, he's not gone, but he's faded out. Because remember, he got eaten.
yeah. I mean, maybe that's like Isayama likes to troll people, and we can talk about the like later on. There's a couple of like chapter volumes where the cover is actually an ultimate ruse to fuck up the reader of like, oh my god, is this going to happen? And
That's
it's
pretty
like,
good.
it's like, nah, it's not gonna happen, bro.
That's why
I
you don't
just
judge
trolled.
books by their cover.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
what he's-
because
is that what
you
he's
told
trying
me
to
not to
teach?
look at covers because there were spoilers.
There are some covers, like if you go like to the newest chapters, there's like, what the fuck is going on there? And I'm like, I cannot tell you, bro. It's classified. And but if it,
I'm gonna have a hard time ordering them then because I
Yeah.
have to see the cover, so I might have to get a box set,
Ooh.
I mean,
or you'll have to place the order for me.
I'll
yeah,
do
well, okay. How many volumes do you have at the moment?
I have 22 and there's 31 so far.
Okay, I think after you read the 22, I think I say after that you can order them. It's like, okay, after that you can do it, but don't
I'll
do
do it for
it
you.
afterwards. Don't, because
I don't care about spoilers.
yeah,
You should.
there are not spoilers if you don't know what they are, but there's
Yeah,
weird stuff
I
in
just
it.
don't even care. I'm just like, okay, I see the
Well,
number.
They do sell box sets, but like only in packs of like 4 to 5.
Okay, so you mentioned about Marco's death. Can I
Yeah.
say something? Like that's the one thing. Yeah, this show, as you say, it was a horror show. People get killed. A lot of like minor characters get killed, and it's like, oh, it's fucked up, and like, I think Marco's death is a pretty significant one. Even though I was like at first like, oh, Marco's like, he was friends
He's
with
pretty
like everyone.
plain-faced.
It's like he's like this like, I believe in justice, and I'm gonna join the military police, and it's like. And as we see by the end of the season, like how fucking corrupt military police itself is, it's not a nice place to be. But I think that's also drives it to the plot of like the thing that like characters like Mikasa say is like this world is a cruel place, like and that's like driving in home like, hey, you cannot be a hero in this world, like. You can try to be, but you're like think about what it means, like meaning like what's like the driving you to do stuff more in this world rather than like I want to be a hero. No, like you gotta protect your life, you gotta protect your friends, but at what cost? In the end, it's like there's some interesting themes, but nothing new. But it's like still for this kind of show, it's like yeah, these are good themes to explore more. On my listing. Okay, so here's the first thing I wrote on my list, and I think you guys are missing out because of the manga format doesn't have this, but I think Attack on Titan has some of the coolest music in like ever, and
true.
it's really really well done. I mean, those openings though. I mean, have you listened to them? They're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I only remember the season 1 because I
Yeah.
heard it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that got overplayed. Yeah,
I can't even tell you what the outro was to that show.
Outro. The first outro was it was this kind of like a somber song, and then it's like It's like build up to this, and it's like ending picture of like Mikasa as a child growing up, and it's yeah. Never mind. I'm sorry. I
don't keep going.
I just talk about like the end. It's like being really part. I skipped like the ED of the like, first part, and I gotta say the opening is like I've listened to it like enough times. I don't need it. But the second opening though, it has like a German name. Like I don't know what it's called, but that's like I love the guitars going fucking and guitars and drums going apeshit on that track. It's so much fun and like so energetic. And there's some cool details in that intro as well that I think I should be mentioning, but you guys maybe didn't see it, but something that a person pointed out in another podcast is like in that second opening, you see all these persons are like you don't see anyone's like face really clear at the beginning, and there's a scene of like. I think at first I didn't know who it was, but on the second watch I realized it was Armin, who's like standing in the city, most likely Strauss district, and he's getting like blood showered to his face, and then he's like there's this like how do you call what do you call it, Alex, in like when you have like two different layers of footage, like
an overlay?
Yeah, overlay. Yeah. There's an overlay of like his face covered in blood, in closed eyes, and there you can overlay are like this bunch of candles that have been lit up, and when he opens them up, all the candles but one are gone. Only one candle stands, and like then he like looks on the side, and that tells you it's a cool little thing because it tells you like this like a small storytelling thing of like Armin being the guy when like he has to figure out from all these like million different ideas that are in his head, and once they're all blown, but there's one idea, and he always has like as you see in the first season of the show, he always has that one idea that he'll try to push through because he uses his smarts to try to push forward, even though he's not the most physically prowess of the crew, but he still uses his smarts to push forward in this.
Yeah, so like
world.
when they were
awesome
stuck,
idea.
well, when they were stuck in that supply depot. They were like, let's lower down with guns. Or when they're trying to figure out who the female Titan was, he's like, I'm sexist. Or I don't remember.
No, he gets it. He
yeah.
He's the most like. Yeah.
I mean, he says like he uses like logical like things like he loses when I she's a female. She reacted to like when I said like suicidal maniac, which only the classmates of this certain training group would have only known that were in our class, and then she also like didn't kill me, which was kind of weird. And also what was the biggest thing, like these all kind of things point to Annie. And also Annie, as we saw in the previous, like at the episode where they killed the two of the Titans that were used for scientific research. Armin told like, yeah, I saw like Annie had like Marco's 3D mini ODM gear, and then it's like, oh shit, like. That he didn't think about it as much at that point, but now it all starts to like make sense. And even then he's not sure, and even Eren doesn't want to believe in him, but that's like, we gotta make our move. Like there's no other way to fight these like peoples who these Titans who look like people. This is the only way to do it. And
I don't know why she just didn't kill everyone she could have. It's less of a problem then, because she knows like they keep kicking her ass. Like, why doesn't she just kill them?
That's a good point. I would say there are either 2 points. One, either she isn't that cold-hearted and she actually cares about the people that were in her like training group. This is like my theory number one. The theory number two is like, that's she just thinks they might be useful later. Maybe I don't know how
Because in some of the ways that she killed these guys, she didn't have to take that path. Like, she caught one guy by the zip line and just spun him around. I was like, that's cruel.
She likes to show like she's just playing around, like they're like the scouts are.
Yeah,
nothing.
so if she's playing around, then it wouldn't make a difference to her to kill everyone that could oppose her to keep her from completing her objective.
Sure, I think, but
I think the only reason is either the author couldn't think of a suitable path to make his deadline, so he had to go with what he had, or it was just for the sake of dramatics.
I think it might be the sake of dramatics. I think it usually isn't that simple. Maybe he just I want to do like a cool battle with two smart titans, and it's like, and we get two of those in the first season, and yeah, it's I would say you're right about with your second prediction.
Because it works in the show damn well. I know that much.
Yeah.
Like, even if I don't remember what I saw, I still know they can execute that really well. Because you think he's in danger, given that everyone's died already.
Yeah. So we've been like going around like from the first half and the second half are like like jumping around so many times. But there's one thing on my list that I want to mention here. Is the mysteries of the show that it early on starts to show up. Like there
What's
are
in the basement? I still don't know.
Neither do I.
Yeah, and that's like the first season's like one of the biggest like things when it comes out. I remember like here's the thing. I was spoiled on some of the secrets of this show, and I got like afterwards I'm like, okay, I wouldn't like to be spoiled that, but there are some of the like even with the first season I knew like Eren would die at episode 6. That was spoiled for me. I didn't know he was gonna come back as a Titan, which was like, okay, what's the deal with this? I want to figure out what's the reason of this. And then we see, I think it's episode 8 or 9 or 10 or something, when they're like doing they're like pointing at by the cannon by this commander, and there's the intense situation of like Eren like doesn't remember anything, and then the end he like when they're trying to escape, Eren's like the key comes out of like his like the chest, and there's like the Eren's father going like, you have to go back to the basement, it's the only way, and like you must do this to save Armin and Mikasa, and it's like the most dramatic moment. Like it's like the road will be painful, but you will manage through. And it's like, holy shit! Like the road to basement. I'm so excited for this. I cannot fucking wait. And it's like such a good moment also to Eren also demonstrate, like even though he doesn't know how much to use like his Titan powers, it's a really great like scene. So much like dramatic and like hype. And that's like one of my like the first mystery. Yeah, what's in the basement, and the secrets of Titans, secrets of whatever. We'll figure it out as the series go
on. Did you read Before the Fall at all?
No, I still haven't read. I have some of the volumes on my. I got them from Humble Bundle, but I haven't read it at all.
Oh.
Okay. I want to ask a question, but if you didn't read it, I'll bring it up later.
Okay.
So I think we should talk. I think we should go into that series after we're done the main series.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's like 15 books, so it'd take a while.
Yeah, that's fine. I heard like why I haven't got into it. I got like, oh, it's a side series. It has like almost nothing to do with the main series. At the point, it's like it's a good like side series, but it's not like there is nothing like that valuable.
Integral.
Yeah, integral for the story to read it.
Okay.
The second mystery.
I remember different things, but okay.
The second mystery I want to talk about, which I also saw a meme about. It's a good like mystery for a while, and then it becomes like, oh, I know the answer to this even before the like characters even say it out loud. Is the classic scene of like when the the scientific research like Titans have been killed, and it's like Erwin like walks behind like Eren and says what do you see? And
I was gonna bring this up. I totally forgot.
that's cool.
yeah, and it's like, where do you think the enemy is? And it's like everyone's face like, what? And it's like, oh, sorry for asking such a strange thing. And that's like a cool moment. I was like, what the fuck does Eren mean by that? And it's like what? And it's like I think he means like, is like the enemy among us or something like that. And it's like it wasn't clear for me when I first saw it, but I kind of get like, oh, like is he like interpreted like, oh, the enemy of like of the Titans are humans? Is Eren in the known? What? This is so weird.
Just Erwin's looking at everyone else, because once you figure out that a human become a Titan, hey, who else could be?
Yeah.
Well, the point I was gonna bring up is I see that template a lot in memes.
Yeah.
After I read it, I was like, why would you make that a meme? That's actually a really good moment.
I mean, people. That's why people make them. There are other like good moments in the series that are being meme, but we'll get to those later on as the season goes. Especially in season 2, there are a couple. I'm gonna show you some premium memes I've been saving up because there are some.
I just love how it's like, I've been saving it for my friends.
Oh yeah, there are a couple of memes that you must definitely see because those are like perfect. Those are like, I've laughed so hard. I'm like, oh yeah, wait till you guys have been like getting to the plot so far. I'll be showing these. By the way, the mystery, I think mystery of like who the female Titan is, I think after I saw the opening, I was like, oh yeah, it's gotta be Annie, isn't it? It's like I like immediately got that vibe, even though it's like, oh, it's a mystery, we don't know. It's like, I mean, it's pretty much Annie. It's like, I already know, but how the characters come up to those conclusions, that's still a really good one. And also the third last episode where they actually like confront her about like being Titan, that moment I've written down, that is like one of my favorite moments of the first season. It's like the dramatic of like, hey, come to basement, not basement, but come to the down the stairs, and like she goes like, I'm too afraid, and it's like, uh-oh. This is fucking intense right now. There's like, we know that like what Annie is, and like and she's like, oh shit, my friends are trying to trap me, and then we go to the flashback to see like how they come up to the conclusion. It's a really dramatic one and a really frightening one, especially in the anime when it's like Armin doesn't want Armin doesn't want to believe in it. Eren is also kind of like come on Annie, like let's go, and it's like Mikasa just goes like, all right, just stop the act, let's fight this thing, like female Titan, and then Annie just starts laughing, the most uncomfortably like maniac laugh, and it's like, oh no, this is it's kind of fucked up, but also really cool part. What do you guys thought about that?
She had this weird line I noticed.
Right?
What was it? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah, try to pull it up. I also like that the ring also like
they focused on her putting that on too.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
At the start of first season, like, well, we didn't, sorry, excuse me, Burby here. At the first we didn't know like what was causing like Eren's like transformation, and I at first I thought like, is he always like transforming because he's touching like iron, because when he touched that teaspoon and his hand transformed into, and then it's like and then he touches his sword and or cuts, and then Annie has the ring, but it's like, no, it's just like having the determination to do so, and also having a wound in their like somewhere around their body, they're able to just transform into a Titan out of will, and it's like, all right, that makes sense. I can live with that.
So it's like part self-preservation, you think? Because like, oh, this your Titanness inside you is like, oh, we gotta protect.
There is, it could be like, it's just some sort of like thought of like, keep on moving or keep on fighting or keep fighting to live, and it's like even subconsciously it might activate, and then it's like, and turn you to Titan, but it's not like I think, well, it is shown that like Eren cannot like, even though when he wants to turn into a Titan and he still has not the like mind into his fullest, he cannot like transform into a Titan, and that is a problem in the first season in a couple of points.
Yeah. Well, that's because he just learned about the power. Like, I don't know how long Annie's had it, but she even had, like, she was prepared. She had that ring that was,
Yeah.
like, specially made to do that.
She can control it pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I think that's pretty...
The only like anomaly I can find in chapter 1, because I'm still trying to find this paneling mystery, if that's what it is.
Well,
If that's what it is.
mm,
When he's having his dream, it says, "See you later, Aaron," and then there's a black bar, and then his eyes open, and then 2 pages later, the black bar is there again with the year, but it's down a little bit, and it's kind of like where his eyes would be if you lined it up. I don't know. That's like the only thing I could find
well,
when it comes to paneling.
well,
but
don't.
I'm probably looking at the wrong place.
Yeah,
'cause
you're trying to look at the bigger picture, and it's like it's really hard to explain unless
Yeah,
I
you
tell
said you said it was such a small thing that
Yeah.
you wouldn't find it unless you were looking for it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know what I'm looking for, and if it's not even a plot thing but a meta thing, I don't know what the fuck it would be.
I'll tell you another hint. If you go through the first, it's only in the first volume, but not in the other volumes. You can go through all the volumes and not find it except in the first volume, which also made me, oh my fucking god! Like I didn't notice that until somebody mentioned.
Then it would have to be a. It's one of 3 things then, but I have to check volume 2 real quick.
Okay, well, while you do that, I want to bring up at the same time.
Okay. That's
I
accurate.
talked about Annie. I talked about second OP. Talked about the final frame. So I talked some about like some of the characters I didn't care. Like some like in the early season, a lot of the characters have like they're really one dimensional. Like they have like. I'm the kooky side character. I'm the dumb one. I'm the righteous
Hey,
one.
potato girl.
Yeah, I'm a potato girl, exactly. And a lot of characters I didn't care when they died. Also, that's a point that you guys can actually talk about because this is story wise. Because the anime is really violent, but because of the broadcasting reasons, they have a lot of like censoring done, or like they cannot like show you like all the things. But I remember reading the manga, and it's not like guts out gore, but there is still gore in the
Yeah, they're
in
just
the-
like sliced in half.
yeah, people sliced in half, and parts of people removed, or like heads crushed and shit like that. It's really really awful.
Yeah. It's good. It shows like the impact of like the Titans and
Yeah, and
like
it
how they're
is
strong, but then there's like still a mystery to them. Like
Yeah.
they don't have to eat to survive. Like they're just eating people just to eat people, which is like messed up.
I solved the mystery.
all right.
In volume 1, there's an ultra special bonus, end quote, of an interview with the author. And on the first page of the interview, they ask him what his fetish is. He says he's a body hair fetish. Clearly this means, well, enough said.
Well,
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, the Titans are all like they're not hairy. So I don't know how that goes into it. Is it because like he doesn't want to fetishize his own Titans?
He doesn't.
He only likes.
Well, why do you think they don't have genitals? Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Have you guys heard how he came up with the Titans of like what like
I
inspired
read it.
him to do?
I read it. I read on Wikipedia. He worked at like an internet cafe, and a customer was like being kind of a dick and like grabbed him by his shirt, and he was like, "Ah, yes, idea." And then he got his lights knocked out, and he went home and wrote it with a black eye. That part I made up, but still.
What?
I think it's like because they were like I think the first part is true with the net cafe and stuff, but he was
Yeah.
inspired like drunk people. He said a lot of like he took or like showed a lot of like people with like who were drunk and like having weird faces and like impressions, and those inspired him to like draw them like the Titan faces kind of like wonky and like act kind of like.
But I
silly.
like how he draws the faces.
Yeah. Wait, I have a question about the faces. Sometimes they're like, you know how when manga artists try to draw people like real people,
Yeah.
they have like that certain look. Like some of those Titans have that look. Like Arm and all the other main characters, they have like typical anime face. It's like
Yeah.
they're pretty.
Oh yeah,
But like
they
the
did it-
Titans, they look
they-
realistic. Like they like, are they based on real people he's met or like?
I think
celebrities or
I
maybe,
think
or-
that might be it. There might be some like reference.
Some people point out like, oh, like this one looks like this celebrity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I was like, are these?
I'm. This is not a spoiler, but I think because some of them might be shown in the first season, but in the later seasons and in later chapters, there are a couple of ones that are like, as the anime came out, at one point Isayama went like, oh yeah, these Titans, they look like exactly like they're kind of like characterized versions of the voice actors of the main characters are like
that's cool.
like are shown in a scene, and I was like, oh, that's neat.
Shit, what was I gonna say?
Oh, sorry.
I gotta say, like, I shit on a lot of characters, but who are your guys' like favorite characters so far in the first season?
Ooh.
By default, in any series I read, it's always the main character.
Yeah, I like him.
By default, but like, if I actually had to like consider it, probably. You know what? It's hard to say because they all die.
No.
Yeah, that's
I don't have time to
no,
become friends with
I have
them.
the same problem because I like a lot of characters. Like
Yeah.
I like Levy was my top. I like Henge, that crazy like scientific lady.
Yeah,
Hange.
Hang is
I like her.
really cool.
I think looking at strictly season 1,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have to be. I guess Armin, because he's actually the one that
Mhm.
I feel like has
I like Armin too.
he has a bit of depth to him, unlike everyone else. But
Yeah. Even
like
though
him.
like with like I wanna like Eren in the first season, but he's too much of like I'm gonna fight the Titans. He's like too much like has the like
of the
shown
main
like
character.
yeah
main
he's
character
too much
complex, yeah.
yeah, and it's like there even though there's some
Like Date
strategy
Bayo.
to it, but it's
But,
yeah
but
yeah
do keep in mind, yeah, you say he's too much shonen because he initially did pitch this to Jump, and so
Yeah.
he
Oh.
did probably write his character to fit a format.
But you know, I thought that at first, and then that flashback where he first meets Mikasa and saves her, where
Mm-hmm.
that savageness at such a young age, where he's like, I gotta fucking kill these guys. Like that like, I don't know if it terrified me or if it made me like really rethink his character.
I think you brought up a really good point that I didn't write out, because at first watch I was like, okay, that's a tragic backstory for Mikasa, and it's like
Yeah,
Mikasa,
like he's
and
like, you have
that's
to
fine.
fucking kill them or we're
Yeah.
gonna die.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, the world is a
He,
cool place. and-
he's not that wild anymore though.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh wow, like maybe.
So that
like, I don't know
that
what
may have just been
happened.
an
I don't
early
know.
thing that he, quote unquote, Araki forgot.
No, I don't think. Yeah, at first you can see like the characters call him like a suicidal maniac, and at the first episode we see him like pick up fights and like with people, and he's a rowdy character, and then he's shown like his like mother dying in front of him, and it's fucks him up, and it's yeah, I think he's not that rowdy, but he still has that kind of energy that kind of makes me not to have him as my favorite character. Also, second like main character like Mikasa, like she's cool, but she's too much of like, I don't know, like she has really cool scenes, but otherwise like she's like
Flat.
yeah, too flat
They-
as a like a
They make her too powerful, and then everyone like looks up to her
Well,
too much. I think.
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing that she's powerful.
Yeah, it's like it's not a
But
bad
the
thing,
point is,
but
her personality is flat.
yeah.
Well, that's how she is. It's like a flat affect because of like what happened. Like that could be part of the trauma. There's people
Even
that are
so,
like that.
even so, people with traumatic still have wants and needs.
Yeah, but her wants and
and-
needs are it's.
Protect
Aaron. Aaron, that's
yeah,
it. That's
but
her only
that's
want
it.
and need.
That's her only character motivation in life.
Yeah,
and
she doesn't want her
yeah.
family to
But-
die.
Yeah, but that's it's shallow to rate her in that aspect.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It is kind of like, yeah.
But it's hard when you keep introducing and killing people, so you don't really
Yeah.
get time to develop them. It's like
Yeah.
it's like those two people. It's like, oh, you're like a married couple, and then they die in the next page, and it's like, why do we even bother with these two guys?
That's the point. That's their lifestyle there. They're gonna die. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's bad to say, but like, people are alive and they die, and it's not fair, even in real life. Like now,
That's true.
and it's
But
just
there-
showing like how fleeting it all is.
It's
I guess-
not fair.
Like
It
people
doesn't.
could people could give up, but they still have to carry on because what else are they gonna do?
So at the beginning of the series, we talked about how horrifying everything was, and everyone just keeps getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
What if they put all these events at the end of the series?
What do you mean?
So
Like-
at the beginning, like their party wiped, and then it's like 5 years we did training. Now we're gonna fight back, and then they wipe again, and it's like holy shit, these guys can't catch a break, and this show like this won't stop hitting me. But what if instead we started off slowly? It's like everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna make it. We're really good. We're winning, and in the later half of the whole series, it's like everyone's dying, and I can't stop this.
That is a theme that constantly is brought up in the first season, and it kind of like is brought up again in a way. I'm not gonna say
I
too much in
think-
details.
I know what you mean, but I mean like in the
They-
entirety of a series.
I mean, they kind of do that, but then they don't show it. Like they're saying like, oh look, we had these 3 years of like, it wasn't that bad. They were training, like they were having a good time, at, like in the
but
company.
but the point is like, the show came out hard with killing everybody,
yeah.
right? But what if we didn't kill everybody and we just gave them nothing but wins from the beginning of the series until just before the end, and it's like, all right, you had all these wins, now we're gonna take them all away
But
from you.
that would defeat the hopelessness of the mystery of the Titans. Like why? Like they've been fighting this for however many years. They've been forced into this small area of land.
So you're saying it wouldn't be as impactful?
It won't be as impactful as like, it wouldn't be as true to the nature of like this world that they're in. Because there could be small victories, like that's cool, but ultimately, most of those people die, because
Well, that
they-
was
because
his original
there's
ending,
no
I guess.
because there's no, they don't know about the Titans. They don't know why they're like, it's tough to fight them. They're saying like, remember they were saying before, like it takes like 3 guys to take down one Titan, some of them, depending on the height. So if they keep on it just having that format of having like, it's all cool, like we're just having a good time in our training, we keep beating these Titans, we're getting super strong, and then destroying them at the end. No, because I mean, I could see that how that could be nice as like a story, but ultimately like it's just little victories after little victories, and most of the time it's not. much
I'm
of a
not
victory.
gonna say anything about it. Like I think that's a really good view, and that I was thinking like that
It's
as
like
well.
it's just enough to just to survive. Like just
Yeah.
surviving is just a victory in itself.
Yeah, but also that's kind of
Because
like
they've got so many things to deal with. Like not
Yeah,
just
but
the
then they
Titans,
constantly
but
go through Survivor's Guild.
yeah.
well, I mean they have to, because like what else? Like they're in a small area. There's like the resources are low. Like you have to survive somehow.
Yeah, but also that's kind of like the antithesis of like the scouts, because scouts are all about like we need
About
to go out
exploring the
there.
world.
Yeah, explore. We need
Yeah.
to find out more to like gain the
The
upper
outside
hand
world.
again. And that's like is shown like at the second core of the first season of like Irving is ready to put a lot of lives in the line just to like advance forward,
out there
to
again.
just to like kill so many people just to like try to get female talent, and that even fails. They lose some of their best soldiers in that fight, and then it's like, well, we have to do even more big of a gamble to start fighting Titans inside the like the inner walls, and it's like that's fucked up, like and putting so many like lives on the line. And when you look at it, it's like, well, I did it only for like humanity, and it's like, okay, Irvin, but you still killed a lot
Sacrificed
of
all these
people.
people,
Yeah, it's like we might be all right because this is an anime, but in real world, I mean, he's a war criminal. 100% is like a fucking
Yeah.
fucking insane person, and that's also something some of the people have criticized. This might be a bit going a bit much, but I should mention at this point there has been some controversy with Attack on Titan as of like past few years, and
Yeah.
some of the
I
people
know China banned it.
yeah, some of
That's
the
all-
people
What's
That's
the
all I know.
controversy?
there's
China, they're like, you're attacking Chinese government.
yeah, some people have interpreted it as that. Some people have interpreted it as like too nationalistic, like too like it's the whole show, like it has German theme
German
songs.
feel.
There's the whole thing is like the show. I'm not gonna deny it. The show has a lot of like influence from like it kind of like has the like German like nationalistic like have a lot of German names, have a salute, soldier salute, and like dedicate your heart saying with that. And it's like
that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going. Sorry, keep going. I'll say it after.
I just like as I watched the first season again, it's like you can definitely see like if some people fuck these characters, these are right, fuck keep on doing what they're doing. I'm like, are you guys like are you still like supporting like guys like Erwin like after what he done? Like I'm still like sure like that they managed to get through like we know that people can turn into Titans. That's a thing that is out there. We wouldn't find it otherwise out unless like doing what we did. But at the same time, the cost is like outrageous for it, and like can you live with that shit? And that is brought up later. Yeah.
That's pretty cool about like the ethics of it. I thought that was very interesting.
There are I'll talk about it more when the time comes, but I just want to piece out what my thoughts were when watching the first season. I'll talk about we'll get to the more interesting parts of that like controversy in season 3.
Oh, 3. Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I had a question. So I forgot. All of humanity is within those 3 walls, or is there actually they don't know if there's like other factions with their own walls outside?
That's actually what I want to bring up after you're done with this point.
Yeah, because I was thinking like they mentioned Asians, like Mikasha's half Asian, so I'm like, are there other walled cities otherwhere?
They say at the like they multiple times like that's one of the things I hated in the first season. They're like in the first episodes they like tell the story again hundreds of years ago, like attack started like,
just 107 years ago.
Yeah, 107 years. Yeah, sorry, and that's a really specific year, like time, isn't it? And just putting it out there. I'm just saying like they tell that the humanity has like fought and stuff, and now they're in this like small like castle thing, but at the scene when they mention like Mikasa is Asian, like they say that the one of the robbers say like there used to be a lot of like different like
people
races.
In the world,
the different types of people in the world, but like as the Titans have roamed, most of them are like he doesn't say it, but it's like implied like the most of them are extinct, and like this there are only so many of like people of different like ethnicity inside the wall.
There's a point of that they have a line saying that everyone knows that all of humanity lives in these walls and there's no one left.
That's what I was wondering, because like if they're like,
I think that's how they perceive it, because how could they possibly know?
No, because they're kind of like, it looks like the culture is don't even think about what's beyond those walls. Like remember Armin was like getting beaten up because they're like, oh, you're one of those creepy like outside the wallers.
Yeah, there is a thing in the first season. There is some really subtle like world building of like when there's the flashback with Eren, and like he remembers like I'm like getting so many similar names. Armin brings up the book, like, hey, it's like, and like Eren says like, oh, you shouldn't be like having like that book, like that's banned, you shouldn't be having that. But it's like because it contains information outside the world, and they talk about the sea and this like mythical place of like not the sea, but like the vast place of like salt water, and it's like, what was salt, like like merchants would be fucking already drained all of that, and it's like you can already see, okay, these characters clearly have like not like a geographical like information down, so
it's like a stunted education.
I think
like
I
purposefully.
Go ahead.
No comment. No comment. I know what point she was alluding to, and I can't bring it up because we're only talking season 1.
Okay, yeah.
No, but it is purposefully because they're saying it's banned.
Yeah, they say
Yes.
it's forbidden in knowledge, and
Yeah,
the
it's forbidden.
government
So I'm like,
tries
it's a
to-
forbidden. Like they're purposefully making these people believe, don't go those, don't even think about going around those walls.
But
I mean-
that's something that comes up later. You,
Yeah.
you read ahead of
I
season
did.
1.
But,
But
I'm
that-
saying
they
it's
do
in the
say
first season.
That's true,
Yeah.
but they reinforce it.
Yeah. Also, like I mean, there's still like scouts. I mean, we can look like.
Yeah, they're
based
still
on the
scouting.
information given in the first season, like scouts are still like they're still being like promoted. Like, oh yeah, the government is like saying no, you cannot go outside the walls. Like, it's like the scouts go outside the walls. What's the big deal with that?
Well, because
you
they
can-
know the scouts will die anyways.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I was gonna say. The scout
And they're like
government's
less
all-
mouths to feed, I guess. I don't
And
know.
there's, I guess they're thinking like it's a win-win. So if the scouts like do clear an area and we have that chance to like get a little more land for people,
Yeah.
I guess why not? You know, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'm going through the list. Like, is there anything I should mention here? There are like a couple of like small like cool moments, and I gotta say with the anime, I think the most like what like gave me, because I rated this show like in my head. If I would give the first season a rating, I would give it like 7.5 out of 10. Like, it's a pretty good show. Like I liked it more when I first saw it, and second time
Yeah.
I can already see some of the like small like imperfections that don't make me this season. Most of them are like the pacing, which is like it goes like really fast and then it drags a bit, especially around like the episodes 10 and 12, and then it picks up back again, and then on the second half it kind of like drags a bit at the start, and then it like picks up more energy, and it is still fine show for what it does, but it's still like it's not perfect, but it made me watch the second season. I got like so excited
Yeah.
by the ending.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you think that the first season was like it was supposed to be like split seasons? Like this is the longest of the seasons.
Well, 2 and 3 were both split.
They were.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, do you
no.
think that
Second
one-
season wasn't split.
Yeah,
No.
second season was just like 12 episodes, right?
Third season has like when you first see it, it says like season 3, part 1, and season
Part
3, part 2. Because season 3 is really long because it's 2 separate arcs, and season 2 has like no season 2. Sorry, season 1 has like 2 different openings, so you can tell like okay, there's the first core and then the
Maybe we
second
should've-
core. It's still first season, but it's still like.
Do you think if
split
they
now.
paced it into parts, that would have been like better pacing? Like around that, like the 10, 12, like you were saying, like oh, it kind of drags. Like maybe that's when they could have like made it part 1, part 2, or no?
It's-
I don't remember how the episodes are.
It's fine. Like I don't know how to fix it. Like a lot of, for the adaptation's sake, they did what they could, and actually they added some of the stuff that was introduced in season 2 that wasn't in when the manga started, and I'm glad. Like, this is a bit spoiler, but you guys have, I heard like Rochelle, you read ahead, so you know
couldn't
some of
stop.
the stuff. Yeah, I know. I had the same feeling when I was like watching the first season, and then second season, and then third season, and then reading the manga. But some of the stuff, especially like Ymir, isn't like mentioned by name until like after like chapters after like the 30 what is it, chapter 33 or whatever, but like Ymir being mentioned by name so early is like really important, like oh yeah, she's a character. Like I thought like she was just one of the party, but then like when I read the manga they didn't mention her up until like really late on. I was like, hold up, like did just Isayama just like for just
that's
like
cool.
make like, oh, this character is also part of the military, and they just didn't mention it. It's like, okay, whatever.
There was
Well,
a.
that's
Go ahead.
you talk about how you gonna talk about that bonus chapter.
Uh-oh.
You think that's why?
Bonus chapter.
There's a bonus chapter in
in
like the
that volume?
OVAs. Yeah, because they include that like a bonus chapter, or like a 0.5, special.
Oh
chapter.
yeah, the 0.5 episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk about that.
I don't know. What,
But isn't that separate like OVA?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
separate
should
OVA. But
Oh, are we
when
talking about the
Should we
journal?
talk about that?
yeah,
Yeah,
I was actually just looking for that. I couldn't remember which book it was in. So I couldn't
that's what I
remember
was saying.
that,
Like, oh,
because wasn't it Gizmer or Ymir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the thing says like Ymir, and yeah, that is that OVA slash like 0.5 episode. I think that is one of the most important ones, even though it's like it's just a small thing. It doesn't say really anything, but in the main scheme of things, it's like wait, what? Well, like what does that mean? Like in a big sense of things, like it's a really interesting part.
Well, I think it makes sense if we know that people can turn into titans.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it's in season 2 lines or season 3.
But I thought it was weird that, like, oh, people could turn into titans, and then if they have a specific name, like, if you were a secret titan, you would change your name, wouldn't you?
What do you mean?
Right.
Like your titan name?
Yeah, like a titan, you would have a different titan name.
Oh, you're saying like it's like I don't want to be Colossal Titan. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like that'd be like, okay, I'm Colossal Titan, but my real like human name is like Colossus.
Oh yeah, my name.
That's why. That's why I was like, wait.
My name is Colossus. I'm the Colossal Titan. I have my I do birthday parties, and it's like
Yeah, it's like you could call me Gigantus or something. Gigantus.
Just call it any other name, but no, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry.
For the Titan name, like the secret name.
Okay, so Ymir.
Yeah.
Norse mythology. Ymir was the. Oh, I'm so tired. Primeval giant slain by Odin and his brothers. They created the earth from his body and the sea from his blood. So what was that girl's name? Ymir?
Yep.
Oh, Yasmer.
Yeah.
So then how... What?
Oh, you just realized it?
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't know her name.
Because in the I went ahead because that thing is not mentioned in the first. Oh yeah, I fucked up because her name isn't mentioned in the first like.
But that's what you were saying.
the first
It's not
8
mentioned in the
chapters,
first
yeah.
season. But then there's that OVA, that 0.5 episode.
Yeah.
That mentions
Wait,
a name.
Does he think that's her?
So you want the honest answer, or you want the
Well, they're gonna tell me. They're gonna tell me later.
I'm gonna say I can tell you like what the Titan meant, or like what the Titan didn't mean. I can tell you what that if you. So ask me a question.
Well, no, they're gonna tell me the answer later, so I'll just wait till.
Wait,
it's
I'm
revealed.
confused about what question.
So
What was the question?
because his question was like does the Titan who said like to the girl who has the diary about like does the Titan think her as like Ymir, and
No, it says a subject of Ymir.
the subject of Ymir. Yeah, that is extra important. Yeah, sorry. Yes, that is an extra important stuff. Keep that in mind.
A subject?
Well, I felt like this whole thing was important, like everything that happened in there. Why else would they give it to me, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
They
Well,
went
sometimes it's just like a sweet moment.
sweet moment. She gets her ass kicked in the next page. She gets
Yeah,
ripped in
next
half and
page, yeah,
everything.
got eaten alive.
Like, you know how
He
like
even
special
rips his
chapters
own
are?
face off. Before
Like,
he
I
eats
just,
her.
that's the best part about it. He's like, oh, it's just like a little like extra chapter, little sweet, little sweet side story.
No, the sweet side stories
No,
are at the end
no.
of the books. They don't do it they didn't do it for the first 2, but they did it onwards for like the next maybe 20 books. Then they stopped. But they'll have like 2 pages at the end. And it's like a fake preview of the next book.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
I
like
like
that.
those.
They're so funny.
Yeah, that's why I like reading the manga.
I have like started like buying the Finnish translations as they come out here, and I have hold on, I need to look it up. I have issues 25 to 29 at this point, and there's
you're
this
ahead of me.
there's this thing going on. I maybe I'm not gonna spoil what the side stories, you will see it yourself, but I think that's like really funny like side story, and Isayama has been talking about like how a lot of people reacted when he did it as one of like, okay, let me do this as like a joke, let me drew these characters as this, and then everybody's just like, yo, do that more, we like that, and it's like, well, I read a whole series based on this at the end, and it's like it's such a good, like, it's a storyline in a fake preview thing, and it's such
That's good.
it's
Ooh.
a really fun one. hope we can talk about it when we get to that part.
It wasn't in the first 8, but they have one. It's like, I don't care about the Titans, Eren. I just want to be with you.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! It turns into this like like
drama.
It's so funny.
Or like that one where she's putting on makeup and they're like, "What have you become?"
Oh no!
Where Mikasa's putting on makeup.
Like hits his shin on the staircase. Is there anything beyond this suffering?
One thing.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Well, I think I brought it up before because I read Attack on Titan Junior High.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And I think I'm gonna read that once I'm done the main series because I don't know. I haven't been following the.
Are there spoilers in that one?
Yep.
Yeah, there is.
Oh great.
There are a
There-
lot of jokes.
There are a lot of spoilers. So you were supposed to like read them as the series came out, but since I stopped, I'm just gonna put them all to the end.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Yeah.
a point. So in Fight Club, you know how he has like, what I don't know, like his spirit animal or whatever. He's like in that ice cave,
Yeah.
and there's the penguin.
Yeah.
There's a line in junior high, and it's like, oh, you gotta like go to like your mind cave, and I was like, oh, is that a Fight Club reference? And like a few pages later, they have a penguin in there. I'm like,
Penguin?
this is a fucking Fight Club reference. But I have
awesome.
like no way to back that up besides I saw the movie and I saw this panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really funny. I gotta say, like, I'm not too much into like comedy anime too much, but I watched the like first 4 episodes and I got like some good laughs out of it. And it's like it's really silly, like Attack on Titan parody,
Yeah.
and
It's
it
a big
is.
goof.
Yeah, it's a goof. If you, I like that the caricatures. They're like, if you thought like the one dimensionality of the first show was like too dumb, here it's even made even more dumber, and it makes me like laugh out even more. Like, oh yeah, this character's like, oh yeah, Connie's who's always portrayed as like this dumb but like agile like character. Here he's ultra dumb. He's like does some like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just leave it out there. And it's like, oh,
He's just brain
Connie.
dead.
Yeah, he's well,
He's just in a wheelchair. They push him around.
no, come on, not that. But he's like at one point, one of the jokes is like, I'm gonna study for the upcoming exam because I failed my test, and it's like, and then Connie walked to home and did not study on his like test.
No.
It's like it's because he's just so like flew over his head. It's like he's so like doesn't think about it. It's like, oh man, this is such a it's a fun series. I can recommend it for what I watched, but I stopped watching it because I don't know. I felt like I like my Attack on Titan serious. I like no longer serious. No.
Well, junior high is done. It's run. I think all the spin-offs are done now. It's just the main series left.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So it gives me an opportunity to finally buy them all.
Yeah.
I've been buying the novels as well, like a sick person. I don't know why I'm doing that.
I don't know about novels. I haven't followed any of that. I don't
Well,
think.
because like the novels is like, oh, we got this novel. It's called Lost Girls. Okay, cool. Also,
Lost
Lost Girls
Girls.
has a 2-part manga.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I have both now.
Yeah, Lost Girls
That's
is
so stupid.
Lost Girls is fine. I think like the only like needed ones that are having made into OVAs that are important are like of note. They're
favorite?
not. Yeah, that people say like, hey, go watch this. These are not like important, but they flesh out the characters a bit more. Watch the Story of Levi. That's like a 2-parter.
No regrets.
Yeah, no
Levi.
regrets. And then watch or read Lost Girls Part 1 and 2. There, which first is about Annie, and second part is about Mikasa.
Oh.
I'm gonna read them when I'm done the main series.
Yeah.
though. I'm gonna save
I
everything
reckon
for last.
it's I think after second season, all of those are. Well, actually, the Story of Levi. Actually, you can read it at the end of second
Anytime,
season,
actually.
or at the end of like the third season. The first half of the third season.
When they introduce that one guy,
Yeah, which
Yeah.
we already talked about a bit. But
I still don't like him. I don't care what you say.
well, we'll get to that part and we'll get to argue about that then.
What character?
Well, you'll see.
We'll see.
I read ahead. I think I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
One thing I want to say before everything else we wrap all this up, I want to say I don't know how do you guys thought about it, but one of the last like things that happens in this like first season is when they're like the government, or the not government but the officials are like hearing like Erwin, why did you do this thing? Do you like believe that all these lives cost all of it? Do you think it's worth it? It's like, and then it has a silence, and there's some other stuff, and it cuts back, and Erwin's like, I think this is a first step as a humanity to go like to keep on our fight forward. And it's like, and then he says the famous line, and then we will have we will no, it's like we will not reach, but I think it was like we will start an attack. We will attack the Titan inside the walls, and it's like, you managed to fucking cram in the fucking title, like we sort of Suicide Squad now.
Titans.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember reading that line today, and I was like, oh, that's similar to the title. But I think you put, we'll begin our attack on the Titans.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was like kind of weird, and I looked at the cover. I'm like, then Attack on Titan is almost kind of like they're attacking. What is it? Is it a moon of Jupiter?
It's Titan. I think it's moon in Jupiter. I think.
That sounds. Yeah, I think so.
I think a lot of the title can be read as it has multiple meanings, like the attack on Titan, like we will attack the Titan, like, you know, what they're doing in the show. But it's like some people that's like, yeah,
attack the Chinese government.
Yeah. No. Don't. Oh well, we'll ban from China ever again. Also, a really interesting point. The Finnish name of it in the cover, it still says Attack on Titan, but it has a Finnish like subtitle, which is used on the side, called Titanien Sota, which translates into English like basically the same like Attack on Titan, but it also can like what mostly in my head it went to, it means like the War of the Titans, and that gives like even more interpretations, like the war is about like that, like humans versus Titans, and like and there's the other side, like the Titans attacking humans as well.
I could see why, like,
Titans fighting.
Well, I was gonna say, from a side of the series, I could see why you would call humanity a Titan, since we are the apex predator.
Yeah.
So it would be two Titans clashing.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in the first season, we see, I mean, there's the female Titan versus Eren as a Titan. Who I gotta say, it's really weird that they have names of like, yeah, Colossus Titan, Armored Titan, female Titan. But what's Eren's Titan? And this is a thing that
just Eren.
Yeah, just Eren, or like
because they know who he is.
I think in the
they have he doesn't even have a cool Titan name.
Well, they knew who he was before he was a Titan. It's a point of reference, isn't it?
Didn't they name? Didn't he base the drawing of a Titan on like a fighter?
That's I don't know if Eren's design is well, but the Armored Titan is based on a if I remember correctly.
Because like I think
it's not Randy Orton, but who's the is Randy Orton the MMA fighter? Hold on.
It's not Machida.
Brock Lesnar. Sorry, it was Brock Lesnar who's the
wrestler.
Yeah, the MMA fighter. I think I remember like reading like the Armored Titan is based on like Randy Orton or like Brock Lesnar. I think like the design wise of like this like muscular like fighter looking creature, and it's like I think if you Google, do not
the Titan.
I need to give you a heads up. Do not Google up character's name and Titans in the Google. It will 100% give you spoilers. This is, by the way,
spoilers.
There's
it says Titan. Eren's Titan form is modeled after a middleweight mixed martial artist. Yushin Okami. Because I was like, oh yeah, he does like a weird like fighting style.
Yeah.
Like I remember my cousin, he used to be real into MMA, and he's like, oh my gosh, he's using like that guy looks familiar.
Brock Lesnar was in WWE or whatever.
Yeah, and he was a MMA fighter as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, that's
he was a wrestler.
that's his whole gimmick in WWE. Like he uses actual MMA moves in wrestling.
Oh, it's so cool.
But yeah, now we've entered the territory of wrestling, I think this is a good part to departure from the world of Attack on Titan. Any final thoughts?
How does everything devolve? How does everything like transition to wrestling in life? Is it that prolific?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I'm gonna talk to you about wrestling afterwards because I have some thoughts about it.
Yeah, I'm not into wrestling. I'm more into MMA. Cause my friend Bro Jogan.
That's a great video.
You don't know my friend Bro Jogan? You don't know my friend Bro Jogan?
No, I haven't. I've never.
Joe Rogan. I'm sorry.
I haven't.
You're so good. Okay. Well, I think the next one we'll do in. I was thinking we'd do them in like 2 months.
I 2 months.
Season 2 is not too
because
long.
I think I could watch 2. I got like this deal on this service. I've been watching like HD anime. I can watch the second season immediately in like glorious full HD. Like
well,
right now.
I was gonna say because when season
by
4 doesn't start till the fall.
Yeah.
And I don't know when these books are gonna end, and I need to like wait to have more money so I can just buy the rest of the series at once. Then I don't have to deal with this bullshit.
But can I? All right. So what I'm most likely gonna do, I'm gonna watch the season 2, like right
and
now.
And then you have to go back or something.
Yeah. I can get the free service for like season 3 and whatever. But like I need to watch the season 2 right now. I'm gonna get the full price of this service. I mean, the service isn't much, but I get like a 14 days like free like thing.
That's fine. But we'll do the next one in 2 months.
Okay. But
why don't we do the next one in like 1 month then?
2 months.
Okay, well, 2 months is fine, in my opinion. But I'll watch it and then I'll read the manga so I can actually give, because I felt like here I didn't give us a good enough reference to like, because it's been a while since I read the season 2. But I'll watch the second season and then I'll read the manga so I can give when the time comes, so I can give you up to date like reference points. And I might
I might just watch season 2.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
I recommend 100% watching season 2, and I'm ready to do even a watch night if you guys want, because because why not?
Yeah, we should do that like next month.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my class is over then.
I start school next month.
Okay, we're getting into personal stuff. I think this is a good point to stop recording.
Okay, here we go.
So,
good night.
Good night.